Be videotaped or photographed, please take a seat in that section over there. And I have an announcement to make. We have a person here who in the entire world population is the only person who's attended all 29 assemblies in San Diego, Mr. Paul Svensson.
Good morning, San Diego! I got 6 little words. Just 6 little words. I say stuck. You say stuck. Come on, where's the rhythm, boys and girls? I say stuck. You say stuck. In the middle. Oh, with you. Stuck in the middle with you. Sing that with me now. Stuck in the middle with you. Now put your coffee down and stand up if you can. Stuck in the middle with you. Although if you don't want to, you don't have to. Stuck in the middle with you, because we just want you to do what you like to do. Stuck in the middle with you. Got it? Stuck in the middle with you. Oh, you sound so tired. It's just 6 little words. Come on, just give me all your energy. Reach way down in that pack of cigarettes and dig it all out of there for me. Stuck in the middle with you. Let me hear you. There we go. Well, I don't know why I came here tonight. Got a feeling that something ain't right. I'm so scared to fall off my chair, and I'm wondering how I get down the stairs. Got clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am. Yes, we have a cowbell. We have a cowbell. Because how much cowbell do we need? I knew I loved you guys for some reason. Yeah, I'm stuck in the middle with you, and I'm wondering what it is I should do. It's so hard to keep my humor on my face. Losing control, I'm all over the place. Here we go. Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Well, it started off with nothing, and you're proud to be a self-made person. And your friends, they all come calling, slap you on the back and say, please, please, woo! Well, I'm trying to make some sense of it all, but I see it makes no sense at all. Is it cool to go to sleep on the floor? 'Cause I don't think I can take any more. Here we go! Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle. Oh, you started off with nothing, and you're proud that you're a self-made person. And your friends, they all come calling, slap you on the back and say, please. Put them together. Here we go. Please. Do it again, please. Please. Let me hear you. Please. Oh, I don't know why I came here tonight. Got the feeling that something ain't right. I'm so scared in case I fall off the chair, and I'm wondering how I get down the stairs. I got clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. I got clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle. Put your hands together now. I got clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am. You gotta do it again. Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am. I've got all day. I got clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you.
Thank you, Paul. Woo. All right, we get to insult our neighbors right off the bat. That's a good way to go here at Sunday Assembly. We have a theme for every Sunday Assembly. The theme for today is Finding Your Way. My name is Stephen Soden. I'll be your MC for today. Sunday Assembly is a secular congregation that meets monthly to enjoy great songs, hear some great talks, enjoy some snacks together, and connect for community events. But mostly, we just get together to celebrate this one life that we know that we have. So glad you're all here. The motto for Sunday Assembly is live better, help often, and wonder more. And we have some great people here today and so much that's been happening in Sunday Assembly. Who is this your first time to Sunday Assembly? By a show of hands, if you don't mind, give these people a high five. Would you please welcome them to Sunday Assembly? Thank you so much. And there's some really interesting people here today. Please have a chance to communicate with each other. I met some people before we started. Jay here is a really interesting fellow. You want to give him a chance to talk to him? He's got a lot of stuff in the community that he's doing. And he came all the way from Dallas, is why I mentioned him. So thank you so much for being here. All right. We do a thing called Life Happens, and in Life Happens, we ask for you to share some of the things that are happening in your community, and I have a couple of them here. Also, if there's something somebody wants to add in, I'll do a second session, because I didn't get too many today. But it is, today is our daughter Isabella's 12th birthday. Isabella, where are you? All right. Congratulations, so good to see you. And also, Mark and Mallory rescued a beautiful tuxedo Labrador puppy called Callie, a girl named Callie. Fantastic, and they want you to know a tuxedo because she has a black coat with a white chest. Good for you, thank you for doing that. That is awesome. I hope this won't go amiss. Somebody shared a story earlier this week, so I'll share it with you. They were going in to buy summer toys for their children for summer vacation, and they met a woman outside of the Target who really needed some help. So they ended up buying diapers and food for her instead, and they spent about $1 on toys for the kids. But I won't say your name unless you want to say yourself, but I was really touched by that story, and that's fantastic. And I'll share my own Life Happens, which is, I'm not a world traveler. I've only been off this continent twice in 6 years, but last assembly I was at with a couple of other assemblies here at the International Conference in Utrecht, the Netherlands, and it was fantastic. We'll talk a little bit about this later, but it looks like the conference for next year will most assuredly be here on the West Coast, so hopefully we'll see many of you there in May, so we'll all have a chance to participate in that. Let's see, I go to the program, as have you. We have a reading every time. This time it's one of the assemblies that we met there at the conference, and he's recorded a little bit for us. He did this, they have a talent show on a Saturday night. It's really kind of a festival thing, and this is what he did, and we just loved it so much we asked him to record it for us. And we did play both of these songs prior to the assembly, so hopefully you're familiar enough with both of them to get this. Thank you very much. Tim Lawler.
Good morning, Sunday Assembly San Diego. My name's Tim Lawler, and you find me in my London home with an old-fashioned speaker. Some of the younger among you may remember that. An armchair and some shutters behind me. Now, I understand the theme of yours today is finding your way. Now, a short while ago, some of us found our way to Utrecht in the Netherlands, where we attended the Sunday Assembly conference / festival, because on the Saturday night, those of us who brought something did a little performance, and Laura and Co and Steve and those who were there thought it might be nice to bring the poem that I performed there to virtually to you this morning. Now, it's a poem, and it's about, I often do the poetry slot at the London Sunday Assembly, and I have a bit of a thing about imagined letters to pop singers. One of them, in this case, is a French duo who a couple of years ago performed a song that you all recognise, that you'll pick up as we go along. The other is Wales's third most famous singer, a woman called Bonnie Tyler, all of whose hits were actually written by Jim Steinman, who would offer them first to Meatloaf, and if Meat didn't fancy them, they'd hand them to Bonnie Tyler, who would make huge hits out of them, to his annoyance. Anyway, without much further ado, here I go. This is called Daft Bonnie. I wrote to that Daft Punk about that song. I said, "Excuse me, Mr. Punk, you have it wrong. Or may I call you Duck? You see, for me, the cut-off point comes at about 3:30. You've not got lucky up till then. It's not worth staying up all night. You've had your lot. Or if you do get lucky, chances are you won't feel lucky in the morning. See, you don't know anything about her. Except quite. She's rather good at staying up all night, with getting lucky the principal aim. I'm almost certain that's not her real name." He hasn't written back. Our word is French. They always find it something of a wrench to take advice in a romantic matter. With reason or without, I think the latter. But his dilemma stayed stuck in my head, so I wrote to Bonnie Tyler and I said, "Miss Tyler, Bonnie, you know your epic song about the heart's eclipse? If I'm not wrong, the sentiment under the epic sound is, every now and then you get a little bit lonely and he's never coming round. And as the song develops, it appears that every now and then you get a little bit tired of listening to the sound of your tears." Your second hit develops the same thing. You need a hero. Something of a meme. Miss Tyler, Bonnie, I've a thought unfolding. You know this hero out for whom you're holding, who's got to be strong and who's got to be fast and he's got to be fresh from the fight. Now, you're holding out for him, if I'm not wrong, not for eternity or anything, but for the rest of the night. That's what you sing. Now, if it turns out that your shining hunk ain't packing your salvation in his trunk, or turns out to be some celibate monk, or tries to make you dance to uptown funk, a sure sign that suggests your hopes are sunk, may I suggest you contact that daft punk? See, if for a hug you find you're stuck, he's staying up all night just to get lucky, and he's been doing it for quite some while. He might be up for entente cordiale. Granted, he's not the gore-streaked thug you crave, fresh from digging a dragon and grim grave, but when all's said and done, like in the end, he does have a real helmet. And a friend. Just looking out for you. Don't mention it. She hasn't written back. One does one split.
That was recorded pre-Brexit. I don't know if you could tell that or not. The assemblers get together, and we've had a number of really cool events. There was Dan organized a 7 Bridges walk here in Balboa Park and the area around here. And there's over 20 of you that came up to that. And those are probably the people that are applauding right now because they made it. It was a long walk. And sly devil that he is, was actually 8 bridges. So that was really extra bonus time. This was left behind. If this belongs to you, there's stuff in the pocket. You got your Monopoly cards from the Ralphs in here, so let me know. It's right up at the card there. So if we can get that back to its owner. Our speaker today, Professor Eduardo Macagno, was recruited from Columbia University to UC San Diego in 2001, where he was the founding dean of the Division of Biological Sciences. He remains active in developmental neurobiological research, maintaining a UCSD laboratory and serving as editor-in-chief of Developmental Neurobiology. A native of Argentina, he majored in physics at the University of Iowa, where he worked with James Van Allen's team on the early exploration of the Earth's radiation belts. Professor Macagno was president of the Academy of Neuroscience for Architecture in 2010 through 2012, a member of the 6th College faculty. Macagno teaches courses on dementia, science and society, diversity, equity, and inclusion in the biomedical sciences, and brains and buildings. We're so pleased to have him here. Please welcome Professor Eduardo Macagno.
Good morning. It's actually rather interesting to get out of La Jolla. This is almost a foreign country, in some sense. But thank you very much for the invitation. The topic, it could go any way we wanted it to go. Finding your way can mean anything. But because I am a scientist and a biologist, it's going to be kind of a little bit prosaic. We're going to talk more about finding your way through your biology. Now, you could find your way in many other ways, and I'm not supposed to get close to that. But principally, what I want to talk about, you heard that I've been involved with architects, is how do we interact, how do we interface with our environment so that we know where we are. And that is kind of a very critical evolutionary property that we have, which is that we're pretty good at finding our way and knowing where we are, but we're not perfect at it. And in particular, we're not perfect in the built environment which we're given to interact with, which is, say, for example, a hospital. You go to a hospital, and you're supposed to go somewhere, and you get lost, and you don't want to be lost in a building in particular. Particularly something like a hospital, where what are the other people there doing? They're all sick. You don't want to interact with a bunch of sick people. So you want to find your way as quickly as possible to where you want to go and get out of there as quickly as possible. In fact, going to a hospital is one of the most dangerous things you can do in this country, and a lot of people die in hospitals who should not. Not the ones who should, but the ones who shouldn't. So what I wanted to talk with you a little about is how do we figure out where we are, and what does our brain do in order to make a judgment as to where we are and how to get to where we want to go, and to do that in a reasonably efficient way. I mean, you could do a random walk until you hit the place that you're interested in, but we don't have all day to do that. And since I have about 15 minutes, I better get on with what's in our brains. A couple of years ago, in fact, the Nobel Prize in physiology and medicine went to two groups, one who run by John O'Keefe, who in the 70s discovered, not in humans, in rats, but we're pretty close to rats, that we have cells in what are called the temporal lobes and structures right inside this cortical part of the brain, which are called place cells. And these cells are part of our ability to know where we are once we have an idea of what the space is like. And then the other group that got shared that Nobel Prize, I'll remember their names in a minute. I think I can find my way better than I can find words, or names. But anyway, the other group discovered that we have in adjacent structures a bunch of cells that respond not just when we are in a particular place, but when we are in kind of a grid at the location of the vertices in the grid. And this gives us an ability to not only know where we are, but to kind of put that location in the context of the world around us. There's more complications, of course. This is biology, after all. It's not simple. We have cells that allow us to orient, the orientation of our head with respect to our body, the orientation with respect to the world. We have cells that calculate as we move along what the path is. So, for example, you can learn how to go somewhere blindfolded and then come back with pretty good accuracy to where you started. This is something called path integration, and we're pretty good at it. In fact, you do that every night. You kind of blindfolded go to the bathroom. You may or may not sit in the right place, but you go to the bathroom. And then you come back to bed, and are you using cues or doing something specific? No, you've learned the path. And so that takes me to the question of how. What do we do in order to actually find our way biologically? So there are a couple of things that we do. One is that we learn where we are with respect to landmarks. Okay, so if you drive around in this area, you probably know that Balboa Park's over there, west is in that direction, La Jolla is probably somewhere over the hill in that direction, south is in that direction. And then you've got some landmarks. And if you can see them, then you know pretty much how to orient and where you are. So if you're close enough to Balboa Park, you can see the tower. Or if you are close to downtown, you learn which buildings are which and so on. So that's called landmark navigation. And we do that because we have a place in our brains called the hippocampus, where we can actually make and memorize maps. Now, some people are better than others at this. We're not by any means all very good at it. Some of us are not that good at it. And if you're a male, you're in trouble if you're not good at it because you never ask for directions. If you're a woman, you're more willing to think that you can ask questions because no one's going to think you're stupid if you ask a question. So we have gender differences. But those of us who are good at making maps, irrespective of gender, are in a way able to imagine where we are in that map and then plan a path through the map. Those who are not that good at it have to learn routes. And so what you learn is, if I go this way and take a right and then take a left, and then I will get to where I'm going. Interestingly, there are two different parts of the brain that are used for this kind of strategies. So I mentioned the hippocampus is a part of the brain that has these place cells and grid cells and directional cells. Actually, it's not just the hippocampus. There's a part of the brain adjacent to it, which is called entorhinal cortex. There's no exam after this, so you don't have to remember. But it's all right in here, right? Very close to the surface. So if you're trying to make a map and learn a map and use that map, you need your hippocampus. However, the rest of us don't get lost all the time, right? And that's because we use another part of the brain, which is more in the middle. It's called the caudate nucleus. It is a part of the brain that is very involved in a different kind of memory, what we call procedural memory, kind of like riding the bicycle type of memory. So you learn the route, and then you just take the route. Now, normally we use both. Most of us have some ability to make a map, and we all have some ability to learn a route and to then use the route. So for example, you probably in the morning get up and go to work, and you get there, and you don't know how you did it, right? It just happened. You've learned the route. It is part of your routine. And you don't have to think of the map and where you are and so on. It happens. Turns out that these two kind of strategies, looking at the map, where you're in the map, or just remembering a route, are kind of the principal strategies which change over our ages. So when you're young, and this has been tested with kids as young as 4 or 5 years old, you're pretty good at learning within the playground where things are. You don't have to actually plan a route. You you're making maps and you can move around very quickly, very easily. And then as you get older, that ability begins to get less. And you need to rely on learning routes a little more. And as you get significantly older, like me, you need to actually be able to remember the roots, because the first part of the brain to start deteriorating happens to be the hippocampus. Now, we know that because the hippocampus is not only where we make maps, it's also where we stabilize memories. And as you know, as you get older, it is harder to remember who the other Nobel Prize winners were. Which I'm still looking for in here. It's there, but I should have written it down. But, so, in fact, you all have evidence of that change in our brains, which in normal aging leads to some loss of ability to put memories into long term. And it turns out that that's the same area, the hippocampus, which you use for making maps. So it's been shown a lot in many different experiments, many different types of observations, that map making and the ability to navigate using that strategy becomes less and less as you get older. And to some extent, I mean, of course, we're all different. There's a huge diversity in this room, not just in age, gender, but also in our ability to do things with different parts of our brain. So some people begin to lose memory early, some much later. There are some people who can remember everything, and they're 100 or maybe even over 100. And then there's some people that at age 50 begin to lose that ability. So I thought I would tell you a couple of things. You're going to tell me when there's 5 minutes, right? Because otherwise, my natural rhythm is 45 minutes. And the reason is I've been teaching for decades, right? So 45 minutes is your 50-minute hour of class. And you have to leave 5 minutes or else the students start running away anyway. So 15 minutes, 20 minutes is kind of fast for me. But I wanted to bring in a little bit of a concern we have. And that is that I'm glad to see a lot of young people here, but our population is getting older. And we're getting older as a population because medicine has done wonders to keep our bodies going. Right? We have all these things that preserve your heart, that preserve, even in the face of arthritis, you can still do things and get around and so on. But what medicine has not figured out, they can replace our hip, they cannot replace our brain. And never will, in my estimate. So don't believe all these things about stem cells. They're not going to replace your brain. And so what's happening is that as we age normally, and we age in different ways, this part of the brain called the hippocampus is one of the first to thin out. And so we don't remember things so well, and we get lost a little more easily. So to some extent, it would be nice if we had a way of figuring out from what's happening externally, what's the state of your brain. We don't want to have to do fMRIs and all these really expensive things. It would be interesting if we could say, just have a little test and say, figure out how to get from Balboa Park to SeaWorld, and by the time it takes and the route you take, we could say, oh, okay, we know what your hippocampus is. And in fact, we're trying to develop ways to do that. That's called non-invasive, cheap diagnosis. okay? You go to the hospital to get an fMRI, you may have good insurance, but the cost is $2,500 to $3,000. So we can't do that for everybody. But some kind of test, maybe using games on the computer and so on, might be able to give us an idea. And why am I harping on that? I'm harping on that because for the past 12 years, we haven't developed a single drug against Alzheimer's. Not one that works. And the ones that we have don't work particularly well anyway. And the reason they don't, we think, is that they're being used once you can see the deterioration at a level that interventions don't help. Anyway, so we have these two parts of the brain. When the hippocampus thins out pathologically, you get Alzheimer's. That's basically what's going on. But there is another part of the brain. I said you can still learn roots. The caudate nucleus does not deteriorate nearly as quickly. So if we can shift from this kind of explicit memory going through the hippocampus to intrinsic or procedural memory using the caudate, and we figure out how to do it, I think we could actually help a lot of people from the intense stress that comes from not knowing where you are or not knowing how to get where you want to go. Okay, so I'm going to close by saying that I like this title, Finding Your Way, and we all have ways and goals, right? So what I was talking about was physically getting from A to B. I think it's wonderful that my wife Laura and I found our way here, and that although we didn't know about this place, that it is a wonderful place to get to, and a wonderful place to get to know some people. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor. The professor will stay after the assembly, so if you want to ask some questions or have a discussion with him, you're certainly welcome to do that. He's going to make some time for us. And I turn you over once again to the musically talented Paul Svensson.
Because I like you, I'm going to tune. I'm a big fan of Pete Seeger. Anybody know Pete Seeger? And Pete was playing a gig with Arlo Guthrie one time, and Pete was back there tuning his banjo, and Arlo was up talking like he always does, yakking and yakking. And finally he turns around to Pete, he goes, "Aren't you done yet?" Pete goes, "Well, I'm getting there." Arlo goes, "You know, I did a gig with Andre Segovia, and he didn't take as long to tune as you do." And Pete snapped back, "It's because he didn't care as much as I do." This is a great song for San Diego, isn't it? Because there are other places that the bright sunshiny day is not the standard. Here we turn on the weather and they go, night and morning low clouds, then a bright sunshiny day. I like living somewhere where the weather is not a life or death thing for us to learn. I can see clearly now the rain has gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. Gonna be bright, sunshiny day. Now you notice where there's a parenthesis there, a parenth, and it says the other word. So as a song leader, sometimes I'll break the room up into like, you take the first half and you take the second half. Or I'll do, if you identify as a male, sing this, if you identify as a female, sing that. I'm not going to do that. I just want somebody to promise me that you'll sing the part in the parentheses, and somebody else to promise me that you'll sing the part that's not in the parentheses. Because it's amazing how everybody will do the parentheses and so. I'm gonna be bright. Thank you, bright, sunshiny day. That sounds good. But yes, I can make it now. The pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is that rainbow I've been waiting for. Here we go. Gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Sing it again. Gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Look all around, there's nothing but blue sky. Look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue sky. Really now the rain has gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Here is that rainbow I've been waiting for. Gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Sing it again now. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Now switch parts. Gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Oh, yes, you know it's gonna be bright, 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 sunshiny day. You sound good this morning.
Thank you again, Paul. It's very, very good. It's awesome. We're going to have a personal moment now. This is a moment that we ask one of you to share a story out of your life. And we've had some fantastic stories over the past couple of years. We had a story of a person who ate half a donut and lied to his parents about why that happened. And somebody who else was run over by a car on their way to vote and it's their civic duty, so they still went and voted. So think about something you can share with us. Please see one of the organizers, and we'd love to hear from you. Today we're going to hear from Sandra Medina.
Hello, everyone. So every year at the conference, each assembly has the opportunity to have a display where they share some stuff that happened in their conference, in their assembly in the last year. So we created a display that is back there, so some of you may have gotten a chance to see it. If you get closer, you get to see the detailed pictures of all the activities and all the events that we had since we started, especially in the last year. But if you notice, in one corner, there is sort of like a shadow, a black shadow. And if you stay back, you will see that that shadow is, the Sunday Assembly logo with a band on one corner to represent mourning. So there are a lot of stories behind that corner. But today I'll be sharing just a little sliver of time of 2 weeks of my own. Tuesday, one of our board members dies suddenly. Later that day, 2 of us break the news to another dear friend. Thursday, my mother needs eye surgery. Saturday, my sister's husband packs up and leaves. My sister and I communicate via text. She doesn't want me to call her or visit her because she doesn't want to fall apart in front of her daughters. Those were her words. Wednesday, 7:30 a.m., I am laid off. I have a few weeks before my last day, so I will continue to work as normal. Noon that day, I board a flight to Mexico City for a business trip. Thursday, I notify one of my engineers that he is being laid off. He's not a Mexican citizen, so by law, he has to leave the country pretty quickly unless he finds something else. Friday, I fly back home. Saturday, we find out that my father's only surviving brother was diagnosed with cancer and is pretty advanced. Wednesday, my lab results are in, so the doctor updates my file, and I am now officially a diabetic. Sometimes we are not aware of the things that make us feel like ourselves and then make us feel normal. After this sequence of events, I was very much aware that I did not feel normal. I didn't have enough time or energy between events to really be able to process them, understand, or even just acknowledge them. So I found myself with this thought just circling inside my brain. So what do you do when all of your support systems are in need of a support system, like right at the same time? And that thought just kept kind of circling in my mind. It felt like it hijacked my brain. But yet, I feel that I was lucky, because even though at that moment I could not see the light at the end of the tunnel, I knew it was there. And being part of a group like this, I believe, helped me have that view. Because while I was recovering and processing these events, at the peak of my anger stage, I decided to have a party, because that's what you do, right, when you are just angry at everything. And I posted this event on Facebook, and I invited some people. And everybody that I invited replied. Not everybody could attend, but everybody replied. And the title of my event, I'm going to change it a little bit because we have some kids in the audience, is the title of my event was F That, Let's Have a PD Party. So I threw a PD party to myself and with friends, and it was great. In time and with help, I began to feel better. And when I started to get my brain back and have clear thoughts again, I realized that the beauty of support systems is that, by definition, they self-support when needed. So even though the impact was pretty broad, we still were able to support each other. Sometimes we're not aware of the things that we do that make us feel normal and that make us feel like ourselves. And sometimes those things surprise even us, but they are immediately recognizable when we see them or when they happen. So, for example, you may find yourself on a Saturday morning, like I did, wake up at 6 a.m. with a crazy, unstoppable urge to vacuum your car. And then you just know that your normal is just around the corner. Thank you.
Sandra, thank you. That was lovely. Fantastic. So the theme for today is finding your way, and I think what we need to do is get some help from some experts. People who can answer the burning question that we've all asked ourselves sometime in our life. What do you want to do when you grow up? Which is probably something many of us asked ourselves even this morning. So for help with that, we're going to bring the preeminent experts who've been working on that feverishly. Come on in that way. They're coming in over here. Here they come. Let's give them applause. Experts, come on in. Oh, they're finishing up their projects. Oh, here we go. Uh-oh, we had a Lincoln log crisis here, so we're regrouping. Okay, here, wait. Bear with me. This is going to be well worth it. We'll finally find some answers here. Hi, Charlie, how are you? Come on in. This is Charlie. Charlie, you want to tell us what you're going to do when you grow up?
Well, this is kind of just what I want to do.
Yeah. And what is it?
Well, I have to kind of set it up.
Sure, you want to put it on the table or you want to put it on the stage? How about the stage? Right here, how about right up here? Perfect place for it. You said, how does that go? Just like that? Turn it this way? Nice. Excellent. Ah, very good. Okay. All right, you can explain it for us?
So, this is just a little gate, as you can see. And this is just a little crane bar,
Nice.
little thingy to watch the thing just to make sure that it's okay.
Very good.
And this is just a little tractor, not much to explain.
Nope.
Just this is actually, these are both my cars.
Oh, thanks for bringing them.
And so I'm just pretending that they're dirt. There's this little basket that dumps them into, and that's just a little staircase just to get into it.
Wow, fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that. That is awesome. Charlie, you want to leave those there? You can grab them, whichever is best for you. Whoa, how you doing? What have we got here?
Well, I want to be like this. Well, no. I mean,
I don't know. What is this supposed to be? A person.
so I wanted to be for. I wanted to save and take care of people.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times people get hurt,
Yeah.
and I want to be like a doctor. Well, not that kind of doctor. Well, alignments.
Oh.
Because I want to like not
Paramedic?
what is that mean?
Paramedic? That's like an ambulance driver and somebody helps people?
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you so
And
much.
one more thing. Also, I didn't really, I skipped the firefighter part because I wanted to, like, also save people and if there's a fire, there's water around.
Yay. One more?
And one more. I wanted to. they just talk to me. Like, some people, like, give me, like, what's that part? Oh, yeah, wait.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. That's fantastic pictures. There's one right there. Okay, come on. Come on over here. Let's see what you got here. Is this better? Yes. Mateo, what do you have?
I have a double tank, and this is one of the blasters, and this is another one. And this is part of the top.
Yeah.
And then this is the thing that makes it move.
That's awesome. I love that. You want to show it up so everybody can see it? How about right here? Can we take a look at that right there? And the Navy. Do you want to come on over? What have you got there?
I want to be a police and make the world a better place.
That is fantastic drawing. Love that. Nice job. Thank you. Come on over here. How you doing?
Good.
What you got there?
I want to be a vet.
A vet.
To help animals.
Can I show you a picture? That is fantastic. Great. I love that. Your sister is about to say that? There you go. Good job. And what have we got?
I have no idea what I want to be when I grow up.
Like a lot of us.
But I made a shuriken.
Okay. Nice job. Okay, did I miss anybody? Okay, thank you all very much for sharing that. We really appreciate it. Nice work. So there you have it. Now you know. So this is a picture that was taken in the Ottakirk. And thank you, kids. We'll see you all in a little bit. We've got paletas, which is ice cream after, since it's summertime for everybody, and 10 pounds of dry ice to hopefully they'll still be frozen. This is a picture taken in a painting in front of the Ottakirk in Amsterdam, so I figured it was someplace to use it, so here we are. So finding your way can mean a lot of different things, like the professor said. I mean, it could be just about anything. And Sandra said it really well, too. I mean, we're all going to be finding our way all our lives, and we're all going to need help doing it. These children are going to need a lot of help to get to where they want to be, to find their way, from family and friends, from teachers, from the community at large. And we all do. We all need help finding our way. And we find things along the way, and we end up doing things that we didn't expect that we'd be doing. My dad and my brother and I, for years in the summertime, we would go find mining camps from the mid to late 1800s in the wilderness in Idaho. And this is what it looks like when you're doing that. We're using the 1967 mining guide, which happens to be like the most accurate thing you can use for some of these almost inaccessible roads. Super accurate map to find these. And we were looking for the Star Mine on this occasion, and the trip ultimately was to find the township of Helena, which is 7,100 feet. But along the way, we found Star Mine, and these are placer mines. Placer mines means that the mineral ore is part of the sandstone, and they open trench mines, so they dig out a big bunch of dirt, and they pour it aside, and they pour water over it, and that's why you see all the what they call tailings on the side of the mountain there, and that's a sure sign that you're near a mine. So we're very excited. We're climbing the hill, and this is what we find at the top, all this mining equipment that's left behind from the mid-1800s, and we just think about these people that brought this heavy metal equipment up 5,000 feet up into the wilderness in Idaho to do this mining and all the activity and everything that went on. So it's not just this dead thing to us, it's this live thing that these people all participated in many, many years ago. But we were on our way to Cuprum and then Township Helena. So in Cuprum, here is Cuprum, as you might tell from the name, they mined copper there all the way till 1974, actually, but that started in the mid-1800s, and you can see from the blue-green turquoise color of the lake there, that's the copper ore that's in there. And there's still some people that live there. There's some summer residents, about 18 summer residents that live there, and they're living among the old shacks and the old structures of the stores and stuff, so it's a little bit of a ghost town. And, but we found there on the way this barn. This is the A.O. Huntley barn. Turns out it's part of the Idaho Historic Registry, and this was the barn of the community. This grand old barn was the barn that everyone in the valley would come to. They would come to this barn on a Saturday night, and they would have music and dancing, and this is where the barn dances were, and there'd be animals outside and people talking, and you could just imagine this grand old barn being lit up on a night when all those sounds in the middle of the wilderness. This is 5,000 feet in the Seven Devils mountain range in Idaho. Just amazing. And from there, we went on to Helena, and we found this place called Kinney Point. We didn't really discover it. It's been there a while. You can see they put a sign there already. But Kinney Point is 7,100 feet above sea level. And this is where, on this trip to find Helena, I found myself. This is me sitting on the geological marker, 7,035 feet above sea level. And as soon as I sat down there, I felt at one with this place. It's one of those places on Earth, a vista where you just feel like you can see everything. You just feel like you can see the whole world, or that you're on top of the world. And this is the largest, this is the deepest river gorge in the Northern Hemisphere. That's Hell's Canyon below, that's a Snake River flowing through it, that's Oregon on one side, Idaho on the other. Lewis and Clark came through here looking for a Northwest Passage. The Nez Perce Indians live down here. And these hardy people of Helena, who are mining the Peacock mine, they did not bring the equipment up through Cooperman as we had come the 5 miles up the ridge. They carved this grade, the Kleinschmidt grade, in the side of this hill to bring this equipment up. And if you've ever been on the one highway in California, where it's the steepest, that's what it's like, except it's one lane in dirt. And it is a sphincter puckering ride to drive it, I'm telling you, all the way down to the floor there. And it's just amazing. And these hardy people brought this all the way up. And this is what's left of the township of Helena. A sign. And that's all that's left. And a grade in the side of a mountain. And this journey that we're all taking, we all have the same destination ultimately. We'll all end up in the same place. And so it's the journey is the thing. The impermanence of it all is assured. The journey is the thing. And we're all going to need help on that journey. And we're all going to encounter surprises along the way, some of them good, some of them bad. And we'll all start out doing one thing and end up doing something else. I myself am celebrating my 33rd year with a large wholesale club that I work for next month. 34 years ago, that's not what I set out to do, but I'm proud of it. And that's how life goes. And we need to help each other through it. And so I couldn't say it any better than Sandra did. That was really touching, of having the help of friends. That's how we get through this. And the people that need the most help, though, finding their way, are the people who are lost. When you're lost, that's when you need the most help finding your way. And we all know enough about life that any one of us could be lost. Something can happen in our lives that just pushes us off our path. The family and friends of the 49 people that were killed in Orlando, Florida just 3 weeks ago, how do you get past that? How do you go on? How do you find your path again? With each other, with helping each other, that's how you do it. And none of us should assume, for some people life is a big adventure. And for some people life is a struggle every day. For many of us it's somewhere in between. And we should never assume what anyone else is going through, but we should always be willing to lend a hand to help people through this. And that can be as simple as saying thank you, how are you, I'm here for you. And those are small things to do, but they're important. It might be the only kindness that somebody has in a day. So never undervalue those things. It pays to have a community. It's nice to have a community. And to you, I say thank you. We will now have a moment of silence. Thank you very much. We're going to have some announcements, and the people that are bringing announcements, if you wouldn't mind to come on up here, and let's read those off. Something that I did forget to mention, and this I should have done up front, but we do have childcare outside for next time. So if you want to bring your kids, we'd love to have them here. You're welcome to stay in the assembly. We make sure that those are family friendly, but the children are well cared for outside, and we have some very qualified people that do that. Our first announcement is from Alexis.
Hello, on my tippy toes. So if you're interested in outreach, we have a few outreach things in July. We've got harvest crops. We still need some volunteers to help pick fruit. And we'll meet in Solano Beach on July 10th. It's on Meetup, so go to meetup.com, search for Assembly San Diego, and you find us. If you have any problems with that or you're not familiar with Meetup, come see me after Assembly and I will hook you up. We also have a beach cleanup, which will be the last day of the month, July 31st. It's going to be near SeaWorld through I Love a Clean San Diego, and these are Sunday Assembly-led outreach programs. We also have joined, Dan and I went the last Feed 'em Friday with a group that's just a non-religious group that just meets downtown and feeds homeless people. The next one is July 1st, which I will be at again on the 15th. If you need a ride because you're slightly introverted like me, or you don't know how to plug in, just see me after Assembly and I'll hook you up. Thanks.
Howdy. We will next month in July be marching in the Pride Parade on Saturday the 16th. Last year we had a really wonderful time in the rain. This year, I think we'll be walking on sunshine, hopefully. But we do have crafting sessions every Wednesday leading up to Pride Parade to make beautiful crowns like this for our marchers or for other decorations for the float. If you'd like to get plugged into that, please come see me after. Also, all of our events are on Meetup, and we're looking for North County crafty people. So if anybody is in North County and wants to make things, hit me up.
I would like to mention as regards the Pride event, last year was the first year in the history of San Diego Pride that they had a youth marching band, and we have here the drum major from the youth marching band from last year, first ever for Pride. Go Soden.
Hello, everyone. My name is Neil, and I'm here to tell you about the recurring donor drive. So as many of you know, we've got a great team of organizers, all these fine people, and they donate their time and their money every month to put on this event and many other community events, social events, philanthropic events, community events. And I think we all like it, right? You guys all have a good time here? Yeah? Okay. But we can only do this by counting on you guys. And we all try to donate what we can, but we need help from other people as well. So that's what this recurring donor drive is for. It always helps us to have an amount that we can count on. We always appreciate what people put in the tip jars, donation jars. I don't take them home. What are you talking about? Donation jars. But it helps to know how much we have every month so that we can budget. We're really meticulous about our finances, and we actually have a sheet of our expenses in the back if anyone's interested on and what we spend our money on every month. We like to be transparent and show that to everyone. Before I continue, though, one of the most important tenets in Sunday Assembly is that we are radically inclusive. And so we don't want anyone who isn't able to contribute financially to feel any less welcome. If you can't contribute, but those that can, we really appreciate any amount, really. $5, $50, $100,000 a month, whatever you can do. And if you accidentally add an extra zero on there, we'll tell you. We'll tell them. Yeah, we'll tell you guys. So no fundraising drive is complete without a thermometer. obviously. You have to have a thermometer. And our goal is to get 15 recurring donors of any amount. Again, $5 counts just as much as $50. And we're going to be doing this for the next 3 months. So if you can help us explode that thermometer out the top, we know everyone wants to see that. We'd appreciate it. Thank you very much. Oh, I'm sorry. Just hold it. You probably want to know how to do it, right? Yeah. So on our website, sundayassemblysandiego.org, you can sign up with a credit card or with a PayPal account. And if you have any trouble doing that, Laura, hand up, or I, in the back can help you. We've got a little donation station set up. And I think that's the only way for now. We're trying to link bank accounts if you want to go direct from a bank account, but we don't have that set up yet. But hopefully we'll next time I come up here to tell you the same thing next month. See y'all then.
Thank you. That's Neil Hamovich, Executive Director for Sunday Assembly in San Diego. And just as mentioned, a conference called Wonder 17. It will be on the West Coast here. We're one of the Sunday assemblies that are asking to have the assembly here. We think we have a fantastic facility and great things all around. But whoever gets this, whether it's LA, Silicon Valley, or the East Bay, there's 7 Sunday assemblies in California. And there's over 70 in the world. This is a really great opportunity for you to come and see the people that started Sunday Assembly in London, England, and also to help out. So wherever the assembly is, all of us are going to be happy to help out to make this a success. So it's really great. We're super excited about this, and we hope to see you all there.
So there are actually a few researchers and PhD students doing different types of research that involve Sunday Assembly. And we just had some results from one study that has been going on for a little bit over a year. It's a longitudinal study, and we don't have all the results yet, but they were able to identify that there is a statistically significant increase in a person's well-being when they attend Sunday Assembly. And that is especially true when they attend smaller groups, or the bigger impact is when they attend not just the assembly, but also other activities throughout the month. And we wanted to give everybody an opportunity to get something going that they may be interested in. So in the back, we have some balloons and markers and a board. So the idea here is that if you want to start a group, or if you just want to get together with some people, that then you can do it. You can organize a group. In my case, I want to see how many Latinos and Latinas we have in Sunday Assembly, so we can hang out after the assembly, and then we can organize one get-together. We decide on a time and a date and a location, and then we just do it. If we want to keep it going, we keep it going, and in the meetup at Sunday Assembly, you can do it. So this can be if somebody wants to meet their neighbors. So anybody that lives in North County or in La Jolla, or somebody that wants to start a running club or a book club or any kind of interest, any kind of group that you want to spend some time with, please do grab a balloon and grab a marker and then invite people to join you. And also for people that don't have any ideas right now, just check out the balloons of other people and join them and decide together when and where you would like to meet. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandra. And once again, Mr. Paul Svensson.
Fun song brought to us in the 90s by a group from Scotland. I don't know that they've ever done anything else over here, but this was sure fun. Everybody, let's get up and sing this thing, huh? Oh, when I wake up, well, I know I'm gonna be the one who wakes up next to you. And when I go out, hey, I know I'm gonna be the one who goes along with you. If I get drunk, woo, well, I know I'm gonna be the one who gets drunk next to you. And if I haver, oh, I know I'm gonna be the one who's havering to you. But I would walk 500 miles, and I would walk 500 more, just to be the one who walked 1,000 miles to at your door. What does haver mean? Somebody was saying. It means babbling and talking nonsense. Now we all learned something new, huh? That's why we come to Sunday Assembly. When I'm working, yes and no, I'm gonna be the one who's working next to you. And when the money comes in for the work I do, you know it's every penny on to you. Oh, when I come home, good, you know I'm gonna be the one who comes back home to you. And if I grow old, oh well, you know I'm gonna be the one who's grown old. Here we go. And I would walk 500, and I would walk 500 more, just to be the one who walks 1,000 miles to fall down. And here we go now. La da da da, la da da da, la da dun da dun da dun da 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 da. Sing it again. La da da da, la da da da, la da dun da dun da dun da. Where's my cowbell? I think we need the cowbell on the la da dun da dun da dun da dun from our drum major over there. Oh well, I'm lonely. Well, I know I'm gonna be the one who's lonely without you. Come on. And when I'm dreaming, well, you know I'm gonna be the one who's dreaming next to you. When I go out, sorry. And when I go out, oh, I know I'm gonna be the one who's come back. Here we go. And I would walk 500 miles, and I would walk 500 more, just to be the one who walks 1,000 miles to fall down. La da da da, la da da da, la da dun da dun da dun da la da da. Sing it again. La da da da, la da dun da dun da dun. Anything else, or is that it? Okay then. La da da da, la da da da, la da 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 la da da. Put your hands together. La da da da, la da da da, la da da la da da. One more time. And I would walk 500 miles, and I would walk 500 more, just to be the one who walks 1,000 miles to fall down at your. Here we go. La da da da, la da da da, la da 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 la da da. One more. La da da da, la da da da, la da da la da da.
Thank you, Paul. And thank you all for attending this 29th edition of Sunday Assembly. It's been a pleasure havering with you for the last hour and 15 minutes. Fingers crossed we have ice cream bars in the back, and, well, non-melted ice cream bars in the back. And then also after we talk to each other for an hour or so, we'll be over at Pizzicotta, where we continue the festive occasion. Thank you all very much. Have a wonderful Sunday.
La da da da, la da da da, la da 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 la da da, la da da da, la da da da, la da da la da da. da da, la da dum diddle dum diddle dum